Welcome to another unit in this Excel course. In this unit, I'm going to talk about a lookup formula, lookup function. In particular, in Excel we have two lookup functions, the vertical and the horizontal. So the vertical one is the VLOOKUP, and that's actually what I want to focus on. So what does this mean? Well, in the simplest version, I have a table with some information. Here a table where each column is one variable. That's why I use the vertical one, because data points are arranged in a vertical fashion. And where I want to look up the results for certain people. So for example, that's the first application of this. Here I want to know what is the mark that Patrick, Carl and Marie get in exam 1. So I'm looking up in my table Patrick and his result in exam 1. Carl and his result in exam 1, and Marie and her result in exam 1. So what I'm basically doing is, as I said, I use the function VLOOKUP. I'm looking up the value to the left of this in this table over here. And I want to get the result, which is in column 2. So this table is column 1, column 2, column 3. So I want to get the result from column 2. Before I continue, one really critical remark. The value you're looking up, so here the name, always needs to be in column 1 of the table. So here, if I'm looking at Patrick, this name Patrick should be first column of the table. This won't work if it's in second, third or somewhat column. Always has to be first column. If you did this a little bit differently, doesn't matter, you can rearrange the table and then use this, but it always needs to be in the first one. Okay, and here I actually want to find someone who is called Patrick. So in the next part, when I have the range lookup, I have to go with false, with the exact match. I want to have someone who's really called Patrick. Then I get 2.3, so I can take a look. Here there's Patrick, and the second column of this table, there's a 2.3. So yeah, that actually worked fine. So let's do the same thing for for Carl and Marie. So here I'm fixating this. I use autofill and get for Carl 2.0. So here it's Carl, second column, a 2.0. For Marie, there is no Marie in this table. So I cannot find anything for Marie. And Excel cannot either. So he tells me not available. I do not have any information on any Marie. So that's how the false, so the exact match works. If I were to use the approximate match, this might, in this case, lead to some strange results. He tries to find something which, in his opinion, is close to Patrick, Carl, or Marie. And this, as I said, this will turn out really strange results. So we will not use this example here, but instead do something slightly different. Imagine, depending on their marks, they will get either 3 points or 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star or no star. So if the mark is between 1 and 1.5, they get 3 stars. Between 1.5 and 2.5, 2 stars. Between 2.5 and 4, 1 star. And if it's 5 or worse, they don't get any star. Okay, so here I might have a problem because I have some marks like 1.3 or here 1.7, 2.0, 2.3, which are not actually covered by this. This doesn't matter. That's where the approximate really helps us out. Because here I can just go VLOOKUP, look up the mark in the first exam, and look this up in this table. Report, I want to get here the stars, so report column 3, and I want to have an approximate match. Approximate means it's somewhere between the borders I defined in the from category. So let's take a look how this works out. So here in the first part, he has a 2. The 2 lies between 1.5 and 2.5. So he's actually comparing the values in the first column. That's why I could leave this out. I just need to define the borders here. Takes a look. The 2 between 1.5, 2.5. So report whatever is in the 1.5 column, a row. Then I can just fix my table, or here in this case I would just fix this fully. Use autofill and get my result here. So I see here has 3 stars because he has a 1.3, which is between 1 and 1.5. Giving here this category. See, all of them have stars because there's no one there with a 5.0. If I were to change Michael to a 5.0, he would leave a star, lose a star. That's actually then the next problem. This case, I don't have anything here, so you will get a 0 there because there's nothing here. If I just insert basically an empty space here, he will get the empty space. So in this case, the VLOOKUP recognizes empty cells as 0 or reports them as 0. So that's one additional thing to notice. Okay, so I can do this here for those. And I can also do this for the second exam by just pulling this over. And he does the same thing, but for the second exam. And well, that's done all basically there is for the VLOOKUP. So we have the exact match. That's, for example, if you want to look up specific names, specific numbers, want to find anything which is really written in this specific fashion. Here, however, if he does not find a match, he says, well, I do not have any information. The approximate match, that's something which I could use here if I want to find values from a table where I define upper and lower bounds. Actually, I only have to make a list for lower bounds, and then always put the corresponding part with regard to the lower bound here on the right. And I can use the same thing but with true, and he will assign this what is between those two to this specific value. Well, we can do one more test with this regard. What happens if I actually choose the border here, the 1.5? Well, we might already guess this. Put 1.5 here. He gets 2 stars. So it's always inclusive. So the 1.5 is already the next category. The 2.5 is already this category. The 5.0 is already this category. So that's the way how I work with threshold values. Luckily, except for the 5.0, I do not have any threshold values, and well, the 5.0 actually should be this value here. And again, the 1.0 should also be this value. Well, that's the final comment in this unit, so I hope you enjoyed listening to it. And if you're looking for additional input on Excel, feel free to visit the rest of the course or have a look at the corresponding playlist. I say goodbye and see you next time.